Let's not sugarcoat it. Zoro is a beast, but he still has plenty of room left to grow. I've seen people underrate him, I've even seen people overrate him, saying he's on the same level as the Yonko and Admirals. You even got people saying he's above Gear 5 Luffy. Why the hell is ZKL trending on Twitter? Zoro kills Loki? Have y'all not learned your lesson with Kaido? Just some delusional takes, man. Like, this video is not to slander Zoro, by the way. Quite the opposite, in fact. Zoro, to me, is way more of an interesting character when he's framed as someone who is climbing to the top, rather than him being glazed and put on a pedestal like he's this demigod or something. If you want my 2 cents, Zoro right now is pretty much above every first commander besides Ben Beckman and below the Yonko and Admirals. He's closing the gap, but he's not at a point where I believe he's beating any top tier characters in 1v1s. So I want to take Zoro as he is now currently in Elbaf and make a checklist of what he needs to gain / acquire before or during the final arc. Because without these criteria, I don't have faith in him beating Mihawk in an all-out battle of supremacy. Subscribe and comment your thoughts and suggestions for more things you'd like to see on this channel, and let's get into it. Not going to spend too much time on this one because it's fairly obvious. We need to see Zoro fully utilize Enma with no drawbacks. I've seen people say he's mastered Enma during the King fight, even though Zoro straight up says he needs to end the fight before Enma takes him out. If every time he needs to activate King of Hell mode and runs the risk of burning out because it's used for a long time, he's going to be left in an extremely vulnerable position against any top tier opponent. Could you imagine Zoro pulling up to Mihawk for their rematch and he can only use AC for a short period of time? Mihawk would dribble him across the entire battlefield. The usage can't be a liability. He needs to be able to use Advanced Conqueror's Haki indefinitely, like we saw Luffy do against his battle with Kaido after unlocking his. Because of Enma, we know Zoro's already got Ryo at Advanced Conqueror's Haki, but he needs to improve his Observation Haki as well. That's a major blind spot that would undoubtedly help him if he's facing a top tier. There's no way this man pulls up to a guy called Hawkeyes and the Clairvoyant and expects basic Observation Haki to be enough. In my opinion, there's only one way Zoro's going to learn this ability: by getting his ass kicked. You know, the insane durability King displayed was such a wall that it made someone as confident as Zoro think he was going to lose. People really be sleeping on the King fight when he had Mr. I will never lose again tweaking and making him think he'd actually take another L. King was the hurdle Zoro needed in order to unlock his King of Hell mode and have enough power in his attacks to bring him down. In a similar vein, Zoro is going to struggle against Shiryu. Now don't get it twisted, Shiryu is a fucking bum as far as I'm concerned. In an honest 1v1, Zoro dogwalks this man, but obviously it's not going to be fair because of Shiryu's invisibility. Just like how Zoro was wondering how to hurt King, he's going to be struggling how to land attacks on this invisible fighter. I doubt basic observation will be enough, otherwise Shiryu's fruit is just garbage. Zoro's a tough guy, but he can't repeatedly take a bunch of lethal attacks, and Shiryu is a bloodthirsty, dirty kind of fighter. Zoro's going to have to dig deep and predict Shiryu's actions before they're even made if he wants to bring him down. Zoro needs to fight a 1v1 against another user of Advanced Conqueror's Haki, point blank period. He should have this experience before stepping up to Mihawk. Zoro fans, don't come at me, but a lot of people overrate the Ashura Slash. Did it look cool? Yes. One of the coolest moments in the entire story. But overall, it didn't bring down Kaido, it didn't even slow him down. Even if Zoro didn't have a bunch of damage from Ocean Sovereignty, I genuinely don't think it would make much difference considering we know Enma would still be draining his Haki in better conditions. In my opinion, having a 1v1 with another Conqueror's Haki user would force Zoro to grow and refine his own Advanced Conqueror's Haki. We saw what wonders it did for Luffy against Kaido. Luffy's strength went through the roof because he was forced to go blow for blow against Kaido. It was a sink or swim kind of situation. And with that being said, I think the perfect person to help Zoro grow would be Ethan Nishiro of the Gorosei. Their matchup was pretty much all but confirmed when they briefly clashed in Egghead and Zoro realized the man was wielding a Kitetsu blade. Going blow for blow against a Conqueror's Haki user who is not only powerful but has insane regeneration would make him the perfect training partner for Zoro's Conqueror's Haki to get stronger. Now I know what some of you may already be thinking, how exactly does Zoro beat an immortal regen merchant? Your guess is honestly as good as mine, to be honest. We don't know how just yet, outside of Imu taking them out with their own power. Oda simply hasn't given us an answer yet, but there's no way the ability will stick around for long. Regardless, it doesn't change that Zoro would greatly benefit from this match because he has no choice but to hit harder to survive. Now with the way the final saga is set up, I don't think Zoro's fighting any of the Yonko. Buggy obviously doesn't count, and personally I think Shanks is going to fall during the final saga and Luffy and Blackbeard will fight each other. But the Admirals are free game. People be calling Zoro Admiral level, the Admiral Slayer, but no, not me. Show me the Carfax. I don't care how much mental gymnastics y'all make to put him at that level. I want to see him actually beat one because I think it'd be really cool. And right now there's two possibilities. One obviously is Fujitora. Blind Swordsmen are cool as hell. They already clashed back in Dressrosa. It makes sense on paper why they would fight because they have somewhat of a connection because of that clash. Only problem is Fujitora low-key be sabotaging the world government. Any chance Fujitora gets to mess with them, he's gonna take it. I think people forget that when Doflamingo was brought down, he literally stalled for days to capture the Straw Hats. He might not be an antagonistic force to the Straw Hats. Which leaves me with Green Bull. Green Bull, although he doesn't have a personal connection to Zoro, is 100% antagonistic force to the Straw Hats. His introduction was literally him pulling up to Wano to take out Luffy. It will 100% be on site if Green Bull tries to go after the crew in any way, which he has proven he is willing to do, even if it meant killing and subjugating the people of Wano. Let me know, who do you think is more likely to be a future opponent for Zoro, Fujitora or Green Bull? I want to hear y'all thoughts on this one. Now we know Black Blades are forged through intense battle. Ryumo is stated to have gone through numerous battles to achieve one, and Mihawk is said to have sought out battle after battle to reach the top, even being called the Marine Hunter, meaning he was fading even the government to become more powerful. Zoro is already on this path, it's just a matter of time and the question of who would push him to this point. Now I see two possibilities. One is before his battle with Mihawk, most likely against Ethan, that he achieves a Black Blade since he would be in a constant battle of supremacy against someone who can heal from any number of his attacks. And on the other hand, I can see him unlocking it during the actual battle with Mihawk. Mihawk will be Zoro's toughest fight and possibly his definitive final fight, so this can very well meet the criteria to unlock it then. Only time may tell, but in my opinion, I think it would be better if Zoro shows up against Mihawk with at least one Black Blade. It would really show the level of growth Zoro has strived for and symbolically put him in the same realm as Mihawk. Two Black Blade wielders fighting for the title of the world's strongest swordsman just sounds so much more badass than Zoro gaining it mid-fight or with the final clash. Also, which blade do y'all think will turn black first? Kuina's blade Wado Ichimonji or Enma? Personally going with Wado Ichimonji just because of the friendship and dream of Kuino and Zoro, but I can see Enma being possible too just because it would show that Zoro has completely tamed the King of Hell. Maybe Zoro just gets all three at once. Too hard to tell right now, gotta wait and see, but bare minimum at least one. So in summary, Zoro's gotta master Enma and use King of Hell mode indefinitely, achieve Future Sight, fight an Admiral, fight another Conqueror, and achieve a Black Blade. For me, this is the definitive checklist Zoro has left before he dukes it out with Mihawk and becomes the world's strongest swordsman. I understand that I'm just speculating, but honestly, I think my reasoning is pretty solid and makes sense. Tell me what y'all think. Do you think there's any more criteria Zoro needs to achieve on his path to the strongest? Let me know down below. Hope y'all have a good day and stay safe. Peace.